What's shaking, gang? Mr. Jeff here, and yeah, it's been a minute since I've done a video. Hopefully everyone's well out there and being safe with all this craziness that's going on in the world. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, today I figure we're going to talk about power conditioners. Now, I mean, a power conditioner isn't exactly the most exciting piece of gear you're ever going to buy, but trust me, it's very important and you're definitely going to want to have a couple in your studio. And I'm going to give you 3 simple reasons why. So if you go digging around the internet and forums and whatnot, looking for information about power conditioners, you can end up down a really deep rabbit hole really quick. Do they actually clean up the power in your house? Are they worth it? Are they just a waste of money? Blah, 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 blah. So we're going to skip all of that mumbo jumbo, not even worth getting into. All we're going to do today is just go over some common features that you'll find in most power conditioners that you can buy, and then 3 very simple reasons as to why you should own at least one and have one in your studio, if for no other reasons at all. So with that said, let's get into it. Alright, so what exactly is a power conditioner? For those of you who don't know, essentially at its core, a power conditioner is nothing more than a power bar that you'd find at Walmart or whatever, just in a rack form. It has wall outlets in it, most of them can clean up dirty electrical signals, and it goes in a rack case. So typically speaking, most of them usually have 8 outlets on them. Others might have a 9th one, usually in the front, and then the rest being in the back. Some of them, like a couple of mine, will have wall wart spacing on the back. So by that I mean on the back, 4 of the outlets will be pushed close together, and then the other 4 will be spaced further apart. So if you've got things that are wall warts that you need to plug in, it gives you that additional room so you're not losing a couple outlets for one unit you got to plug in. Some of them on the front panels will also have lights that you'll be able to pull out and turn off and on. That way if it's in the top of the rack and you've got some more gear underneath and you need to illuminate it a little bit to help you see it better, you can pull those lights out and turn them on. And then to varying degrees, they will all generally clean up the electricity in your house or whatever's plugged into it to some degree. Alright, so now that we've gone over the gist of what a power conditioner is, let's go over the 3 simple reasons why you should own at least one in your studio, if for no other reason other than the 3 that I'm about to give you. Alright, so reason number 1, clean and organized. So basically you have 2 options here. You can have regular power bars laying on the floor, cables running all over the place for them. Big ugly mess. The potential to trip over some of these cables. You don't want that. Power conditioner just goes right in the rack case. Everything's plugged in the back. Clean, neat, hidden, out of the way. You don't have to look at cable mesh. You don't have to worry about tripping over power cables, unplugging something accidentally. And just that simple thing in its own can make your studio just look and feel that much more professional. Reason number 2 would boil down to having separate power conditioners for different pieces of equipment. Alright, so what do I mean by that? Alright, well I've got 3 of these things and each one has its own specific job and purpose. So for my setup, power conditioner number 1 is where the computers, external hard drives, my audio interface, things that stay on 24/7 are all plugged into the first power conditioner. My second power conditioner is where the studio monitors plug into. So my sub, the monitors, maybe lights I don't need on all the time, like the lights above these cabinets over here. So this way, when I want to turn my studio monitors on and off or things like that, instead of having to walk up to each individual thing and turn all these different power switches on, everything's plugged into one power conditioner. I just flick the switch on the front of it, everything's on or everything's off. Super simple. A lot easier than trying to turn on and off all these different various pieces of equipment you might have in the studio. And my third power conditioner is where all of my guitar amps plug into. Now, all of my amps are tube amps. And if any of you have ever plugged a tube amp into some dirty AC outlets, you'll know because as soon as you turn the amp on, it's just going to make this horrible, horrible hum. So that's why all of my amps are plugged into their own separate power conditioner. That way, it eliminates any chance of them humming. And that's really the gist of it at the end of the day. Now, some power conditioners can be upwards of like $2,000. Sometimes they could be mega bucks. Each of mine, Canadian, were about $120. So, I mean, you don't need to break the bank to get a power conditioner or 2. I've had mine for years. They just do what they do. They work. They never give me a moment's headache. So there you go. 3 simple reasons to have a power conditioner or more in your studio. And with that said, it's been good seeing you guys. It's been way too long. Take care of yourselves and be safe in this wacky whatever the hell is going on in this world we live in right now. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I've been Mr. Jeff, and I'm out. See ya.